live here? Do any viewers already sitting there waiting? We said some prayers. Wojciech, whenever we start off our culture, our way of life, we always want to start off with prayer. We already have people that are apparently viewing in from the Crow Creek and different communities down south. And a big shout out to all of our community members out there all over. We have Tatanka Naji, Sisitwa, and Upper Sioux, Lower Sioux, all the relatives that are listening. Um, Today, we wanted to come together today for our youth, our young men, our young leaders, our young women out there to give you the best knowledge that we can. And apparently, our sound is good. We're all good rock and roll. This is the third time I'm sharing this speech right now. Said it earlier, I'll say it again, and I'll say it again. Fourth, if we count practice this morning in the shower. But we're starting off this right throughout the winter time here, and we're going to keep this going. And first of all, I'd like to thank our leadership for going out and helping with this. Canada Heritage, I believe, was the one that Heritage Canada, yeah. Big shout out to those people out there that are doing what they can to keep our culture and our language flourishing. And Millie, Councillor Millie Hotain for helping to organize and do all that paperwork kind of stuff that we're not interested in. That's a lot of work. But again, last year we wanted always to keep going, keep this going with good vibes, good energy, because man, like our Dakota communities, man, they can sure get negative. There can be a lot of negativity out there. You might see a lot of things that maybe you don't like to hear, but at least with our language, it's always going to be positive. We're always going to stay on a good path because in my opinion, when we switch our language, we're changing our mentality towards a healthy way of living. So these messages here today are to our youth, you young men, young women out there. It's so important to learn your language, and we were talking about a whole bunch of reasons why. And so, and in my opinion, our language is very, very sacred, and it's going to connect you with a very, very powerful feeling. That feeling that you get from our language comes from the Zitkada, the bird, the Zitkada Oyate, the bird nation. We'd say Chupahu Oyate, the winged nation. Chupahu Oyate, we say. And we call it the bird nation. The bird nations, when you go out and listen to the birds, it sends you into a certain kind of like a state of mind. And it's usually tranquil and nice and relaxing and comforting. And so this is why when you hear our language, being spoken, you get the same feeling of comfort and joy and relaxation. It's a beautiful language that connects you to the land. So why do we want our youth to learn the language is the question. What's the whole point of why learning a language? It's a spiritual connection to the land. And I know a lot of us out there now, we have depression, we have anxiety, our families are fighting, and it's all, in my opinion, if we bring the language back, it's the first step to bringing nature back into our lives. There's a study that just recently came out, by the way, that said when you watch a fire, when you sit and look at the glowing embers of a fire, that fire is very sacred. And that fire, when you look at it, it puts you in a calm, relaxing state of mind. The word that comes to mind is woashte. If you go into a family where everybody's getting along, everybody speaks kind to each other, nobody's chania, pouting and angry, we let go of all of our frustrations, you create a beautiful family. And so in a sense, you can say that this is more than a language program. This is actually a chance for us to heal our families. And so those of you that are learning your language, I encourage you to switch your vocabulary. Instead of saying water, say mini. If you know the word for water, instead of saying I'm going to go get a cup of water, I'm going to go get a cup of mini. If you could start switching all the little words that you know, and slowly your vocabulary starts to build. But before I begin here too, I'm going to acknowledge that the dialects that we're speaking, I know some of you, you're going to hear some kushi out there, Unka, that's not the right word. That's not how it's said. This is the right way. I know we hear that a lot. And so this is why we acknowledge that the dialects that we're speaking now are a mixture of Wakpe Tua, Sisi Tua, Wakpe Kute, and Bedewakantu. So keep in mind the dialects that we're sharing here, because we're so integrated, we're so tuned into each other here. It used to be Bedewakantu lived together, Sisi Tua lived together. Now we're all living together like this in the same communities. This is why you'd see cultural differences. This is why you see families that do things different. The word for different, tokcha. You'd say, oh, that guy is tokcha over there. He does things different. And you'd say that because of these little variations, these little tiny variations of how each family talked and said different words. Good example, wayaza, you'd hear for sick. Kuja, you hear for sick in some places, but some places kuja means lazy. And so one time I was asked by an elder one time, he asked me, "Ni kuja, are you sick?" He said, but I thought he asked me if I was lazy, and here I said, yeah, once in a while I could get pretty kuja, lazy. But but we don't sit there and say that's not how you say sick. You're supposed to say it this way, and then get all grouchy and miserable with that kind of word arguments. We all of these ways, this way of life is there's so much to learn because there's so many families that do things differently. Tokcha was the word. Tokcha. Tokecha is the old way of saying it. Tokcha. Our language is shortening down now. Over the years, we have a tendency to make our language quicker, and in my opinion, I think that's fine. But for myself, I like to say it like the long version. And wachipte is they would say sometimes they're dancing. What they're going to be dancing. Wachipte. The longer version, wachipikte, like the longer, older version. I like the longer version myself. And so you'll hear me, the relatives in the community, when I talk Dakota, I always like to use the longer versions. And so, but that's my own preference. That's my own preference. That we all have our own preference. And keep in mind, our language here is a bird language. And so just a reminder, if you want to work on your accent, because a lot of you are going to start speaking the language, and then when you first hear it, you're going to say, I don't sound that good. And you're going to really be judging yourself. Chances are it's because you don't have the accent. The accent. And where are you going to learn the accent? Listen to the meadowlark. Okay, huh? Listen to the meadowlark. Our ancestors will tell you that you'll learn emphasis and accent. And for a while, you're going to seem like you're a phony. You're going to seem like a fraud. You're going to seem like you're faking it. You're going to seem like, this is not how I talk. It sounds like you're going to seem what's called imposter syndrome. You're going to feel. You're not going to feel authentic. But guaranteed, just keep playing the role. Pretend to have that old, thick Dakota accent. You're not mocking Kushi. You're not mocking Unka. Try to sound like them as well. So what we decided for our youth, and this is a message that I wanted to share with our youth, that are our young people, 18, 20 years old. I know for myself, I grew up angry. I was an angry young man. And a lot of times, even today, we could still get angry. We can hold on to our bitterness. And there's a secret. And this is a song here. And this song here is actually, it looks like a prayer song, but it's not really a prayer song. It is in a sense. But it's more about a frame of mind. It's like a magic spell, I guess you could say. It's a suggestion. It's a way of putting your mind in a certain place. This is a song we sing in all of our sweat lodges, and all of our ceremonies, and all of our spiritual gatherings. Naka Tui said a prayer for us here. Beautiful prayer that talked about us giving the strength, not having fear, all these good things. But this song, we'd sing it in the beginning of every ceremony. And in our sweat lodges, I like to talk about it as well and tell the people this is not really a kind of a prayer song, but what we're doing is we're describing something. Uh, and so I'll go ahead and read these through here, and so you guys can. I'm not going to focus on so much to we'll just go through this song here little bits at a time. I'm not going to try and put any pressure on you to learn right away. Like this is something just to understand the concept of Dakota thinking. So Dakota thinking, it says wakantanka tokahe. Tokahe is the first thing that you do. Chewakie. I let go, or I pray. And mitakue ob. This word here is really important in the future. Ob. It means together, like to live together. Dakuye, people or family, relatives. Mitakue, my relatives, together. Waniktacha. Tokahea chewakie. Tokahea chewak. By the way, I'm saying it without the Dakota accent here. I'm saying it just for clarity so that you'd understand. But I'm going to go ahead and sing a push-up of this song. And some of you out there, you might know it. I'm going to sing it nice and slow because that's how our grandpas used to sing. They sing slow with meaning and purpose, right? But this song is what this song is talking about. It is the Creator that I let go to. I let go all of my stuff to the Creator. So if I'm mad at Randall, if I'm mad at Tui, if I'm mad at the tech guys for slowing us down here, I'm not going to hold on to that. Instead, I'm going to chekia. I'm going to let it go. And when you go into our lodges, a lot of guys that are pouring water would say, leave it with the Creator. Don't carry this with you. How many of you young people, young ladies, young men, are mad at somebody, mad at your moms, mad at dad, mad at the community, mad at somebody? Let that go. And that's this word right here, chekia, to let it go. Chekia, it means pray, to pray, yes, but to pray and to let things off of your chest so you're not carrying it on your shoulders, because so many of you are carrying things you're not supposed to be carrying. By the way, there's a really important word for that. If you're carrying things that you shouldn't be carrying, it's aya. Aya. And so we'll talk about that word in the future. A lot of the messages that I wanted to share with our youth, our young people here today, it's not just language, but also encouragement and teachings to help you. Because I know for myself, I didn't have a dad around to necessarily give me the guidance that I needed. So through this, you'll be able to get that. It's hard to be a youth these days. Hard to be a young person, 18, 20. There's so many influences out there that could take you off your path, your sacred Wakan path. So here's the song, and if you can sing along, it'd be kind of cool knowing people are singing along with me all over. We're bringing Ocheti Shakumi here together, the 7 council fires by us talking and connecting through the internet. So here's this song, and I'm actually going to point up here so that you guys can follow along, and even if the cameraman, if they can kind of, we'll go along like that. I need one of those little tennis balls eventually to bounce on there, and we'll have it like that. And so this song here again it's talking about the first thing I do is I let go all of my problems so that I can live together with my relatives. That's what we're saying. So if I don't do this, I'll be grouchy, miserable, and people won't want to live with me. There'll be no together, right? There'll be no togetherness. So this is that song. So Wakantanka tokai chewakiero ai Wakantanka tokai chewakiero ai Mitakuye ob waniktacha tokaheya chewakiero haeyo. And you'll notice in the singing, I said do at the end. You ladies can say chewakieye haeyo. Just a little bit of the do and the yes. We'll talk about that for male and female way of speaking as well. And so, young men, young women, you can sing this song. Maybe if you go off to school, if you're going off to work, you're going to hang out with relatives, and maybe you felt that you picked up on their energy and you're carrying their energy from something that you shouldn't be carrying. This is the song to sing. Because what it's doing is reminding you to let it go, release it all so that you could live together with your relatives. Because how many relatives do you know that you can't hang out with them because they're too grouchy, too chanze, too chania, too pouting around, they're holding on to problems. You can't even live with them. It's so hard to live with them because you start arguing, you start fighting. So this message here is so important because it's a tool to keep the home a beautiful place. Because if we wanted to create a beautiful wipazoka wakpa, if we wanted to create a beautiful community, it's about creating a beautiful home first. And a beautiful home requires beautiful people that know how to let go of the ugliness that we carry. Does that make sense? Yeah. Yeah. So the message here that I wanted to share with our youth, our young people, and I know who a lot of you all are. I see you out there. Life is really tough, and so this is what hopefully we can learn. So if we can go ahead, we can talk about it. We'll say these words. Just so I remember when I was learning songs, when I was learning the language and learning the songs, I wanted to be able to say the songs too, to speak the songs, and not just sing them. So that's why we practice speaking as well as singing. Wakan is the word for something sacred, something holy. But the grandpas used to talk about what is wakan? Anything that can give life and take life away. That's what the old people talked about. Wakan. So this is why they call the gun maza wakan. Maza wakan. Sacred. It's a sacred piece of metal or a sacred piece of iron. And it can give life and take life. And so this is why you'll hear even some of our elders, when they see a woman that brings life into the world, that has a baby, they would consider that wakan, because she's bringing life into the world. It's a sacred thing. When you sing powwow at the drum or something like that, and you're singing and you make everybody want to get up and dance, you're creating life, so you can say it's wakan. It's giving me life. There's another way. Wakan, if you hear people that are encouraging, oh, get up, it's a beautiful day. Just throw all your problems away. Today is a beautiful day. I'm so proud of you. You have lots of strength within you. You can say that's wakan talk, because it's giving you life. Words that give you life, that's sacred talk. Yeah. And then, of course, this word tanka, many of you, if you have tanka trucks growing up, everybody knows. Even English people, the European people don't realize they know a few Dakota words. Tanka is being one of them. Tanka. And by the way, last year I was very, very specific on the pronunciation. You'll notice I'm not saying tanka, tanka, or tanka, tanka. Tanka. There's a ka sound, tanka. So something that's big, tanka. And so this sacredness that we see, it's so huge. It's everywhere. That's what we call the creator, wakantanka, wakantanka. And so we say tokahea, the first one. That's an H, by the way. Tokahea, the first one. So like they say, if you're in a relationship or something, don't go to your husbands and your partners and cry to them first. The first one you go to, tokahea, is wakantanka. You go cry to the Creator first, the Great Spirit. You cry to it first and you let it all go. Then you go to your people. Then you go to your wife. Then you go to your family. Then you go to the band office and cry around. So the first one you go to, so that way you got rid of it. And so your children don't feel it, and you can be talking about your problems with your family in past tense, like, oh, I got rid of something earlier. This is what I was carrying. And then chekie, I like to break these words down, and I know not everybody agrees with me on this, but a lot of my friends and family that are learning the language first, like initially, they said it really helps. This word right here is, I break it down to release towards, release towards. So it means something to me in a deeper level. Release towards, to let go towards the Creator. It's a very beautiful. And even this word, daku, means something. Daku. Dakuye. That means like matter, the ones that matter to me, or like my family. And if you think about it, who matters to you the most? It's often your family, right? It's your family, the ones that make you feel like you mean something, like you're something, right? You matter. So takuye, family, relatives, right? You're important. Me is myself, me takuye, my relatives. And if you wanted to add more, you could put that B in the end, and we'll talk about that again a little bit later. B. And keep in mind, a lot of these were on last year's, but specifically today, my mind, I'm directing my mind towards our young people, 18 to 35. So obviously, we're going to be doing a lot of slang for y'all too, because that's really where Dakota people we get along. We talk slang, right? And so we'll talk a lot. What are some of the words that our youth are going to be using? And so that's what we'll be sharing within the next week as we continue on. And so. This song you can learn. Again, I can sing it again. If you guys want to screenshot it, record it, however you guys want to do, I'll sing one more push-up. And keep in mind, if you go into the sweat lodge or a pipe ceremony or a gathering here, this is one of the first songs that we sing. It's kind of, I guess you can say, a decompression song. It's a song to get things off your chest, right? To put you in the moment. Because once you let everything go, your spirit can come back. Your spirit can come back to you. So you let all that go, and then the Creator fills you. The Creator fills you because you're no longer carrying all kinds of junk. You just let it flow right through you. So I'm going to go ahead and sing it because I just like singing anyways. And whenever they sing, they say, sing with your heart, sing with intention, sing with feelings, sing what you really, really mean it. So in my mind, when I hear this song being sung, or when I'm singing this song, I'm in my mind, I'm picturing myself not burdened by the past. I'm not carrying the past anymore. I'm not worried about the future either. I'm just totally present and being in the moment. I'm just totally relaxed now. So go ahead and sing it. And if you guys want to go ahead and sing along at home again, we could do this together. Imagine if we all sing this, how it would sound if you hear 1,000 people singing this song. Here we go. And then, so by the way, the language is really good to learn in this way too, because you can really get the sounds down. It slows the language down, right? Instead of saying, okay, everybody repeat. It doesn't work like that, because we're singing nice and slow, and then you could feel these words. Wakatanka toka hei Chewakie repeats. Wakantaka toka ai Chewakiero ai Mitakuye ob Wanikdacha toka heya chewakiero ayoy. If you really want to sing this song too, watch Thunderheart. Geez, they're really singing that song by the fire out there. And then that old man's throwing coffee mate on the fire. I was thinking that he's throwing that stuff in the fire. Nobody does that. But if anything, they have tobacco. By the way, this song is also influenced by the home. A long time ago, we always had fires in our home. So if you sense that your son or daughter was carrying something that they shouldn't carry, they would give them tobacco and put it in their left palm. And then from their left palm, they would chekia, they would pray. And whatever they're carrying in their heart, they release it to the tobacco, and then they'd offer it. Opagi, they opagi to the fire. And so that offering, and when you see that tobacco being burnt, you see the smoke going up, in a sense, symbolically carrying your problems away. That's what it's doing. And half the problems in our community right now is because somebody doesn't know how to let that go. That's really why we're having relationship problems. That's why we fight in our schools and our jobs, is because somebody doesn't know how to let things go. And it's a real difficult thing. But I get it. It's really hard. And so if we don't do this, usually what happens is we end up chanze, chania. We pout, and we're always angry. And that's something that a lot of us are carrying. And my prayer is that our Dakota people, we don't carry that anymore. And so, and I always said this, I just recently moved back from Sisseton last year. And moving home, it's been such a beautiful thing. But sometimes you go around in the community, geez, I hurt that guy a long time ago. Oh my gosh. Geez, I did something bad to that person. Oh my gosh, you just feel that. This is a song to help forgive ourselves and forgive others that have hurt us as well. So it's a very healing. And the reason why I say this to our young people right now, because at one time I was 18, 19, 20 years old, still angry at somebody, still hurt at somebody, still pissed off at somebody that did something wrong to me a long time ago. And this is the song that I realized helped me, because now mitakuyo o buani. I can live with my relatives. I can live with them now because I'm not grouchy. I'm not so angry, and we can live happy as a family. So it's a beautiful thing. Any questions or anything on the website? Keep in mind this is an open mic. Um, if anybody has any young youth out there, you have any questions or and such, then we're happy to oblige and answer for you. And so today was just kind of more or less going to be like an open introductory, us coming together. We did have technical difficulties earlier. I was going to work on sounds. The next class, what I would like to do is focus in on the phonetics or sounds. are we doing? Nah, Washte. Testing 1, 2. Okay, Washte. So, yeah, this way of life is the family way of life. Being Dakota is about family, but family starts with you taking care of yourself. They say awayanka, to look after, take care of your spirit, take care of your mind, take care of your body, all these good things. And so tomorrow, maybe tomorrow I'll make a few announcements. Tomorrow we have a different age group that we'll be working with tomorrow. There'll be 30 plus. Okay. And then there's another group that would be the open to everyone. Oasi, everyone. Oasi, everyone. Okay, yeah. So tomorrow would be a little bit more, I imagine we'll be just kind of more or less continuing on from last year, that group tomorrow, or like a little bit more of it advanced. But today it's for our young people. And I was looking forward to this today with our young people because there's so many messages that I want to share with our young people that are Dakota Wichochan and how powerful. Wichochan, by the way, means our way of life, Dakota Wichochan. It's a short Dakota Wichochan, but we shorten it Dakota Wichochan. Wichochan is a way of life. You could say Washichu Wichochan too, like the white people way of life, or German Wichochan, the German way, Wichochan is a way of life. And just remember, we as Dakota people have our own way of life, and our way of life is billions of years old. And if you want to learn our way of life, the Tatanka Oyate, they have our teachings. So you can learn it from them. The Chupahu Oyate, Wahu Topa Oyate, the four-legged nations, also the Wamakashkan, the animals, the critters that move upon the earth. You can learn all of your culture from them. Technically, you can go to an elder, but most of the elders learned it from the animals. And a lot of the elders would teach you about what they've learned from the animal world or the plant world as well. Twain, do you have anything to share with our Oyate here before we conclude? No. No, she said our prayer this morning and or this afternoon, and we're real thankful for that. Hopefully, I just want to give out, I know today we missed Unka Ozzy. I know he's out doing his thing out there, and we send a shout out to him as well. We're all advocates for our culture, our Dakota Wichochan. And we always encourage all of our elders and everybody. We all want to work together to make something awesome happen out here. And we're all family. When I look out into our community here in Sioux Valley, in my eyes, I see family. And I hope and pray that we can all get along and forgive each other and move forward for a good community here. Sioux Valley will be a beautiful place to live with lots of language. But this is going to be the first of the song. The next song that we'll be sharing too is the Tate Topa, which is the Four Winds song. It's a tate, the song that we sing to acknowledge the four directions. And that song is very powerful because it helps you center yourself. They say if you're under depression or anxiety or something, you're off balance. You're stuck in the past or future. But these four directions song, it helps you center yourself. And that's many of us, we're looking for balance. And also Tui has a lot to share as well for our young people, our youth. She had said that a few of her takojas are interested in learning, and so that's also what's inspiring us today. Any questions out there, or opinions, or thoughts, or feelings? We're good. Washtedo mitakipi pidama api for listening, and we're thankful to be invited into your homes again. We're looking forward to a long winter of all of us being here together and helping one another. And Daya upo mitakipi, take care of yourself, take care of one another, be well, and keep keep the language going. I did hear something this morning. They said our language is dying off. I do not agree. I'm seeing so many young people talking Dakota down in the States now. It's such a beautiful thing. Little kids. And they're just so nice to hear. You can go on TikTok and you can listen to little kids talking Dakota, Lakota, Nakota. It's such a beautiful thing to hear now. And so, hey, yo, Makpini, that really makes me happy to see that. And I'm still learning too myself. I'm learning from the little ones even. The little ones teaching me words. And anytime I get a chance to hang out with our elders in the community, they're always teaching me new words and new ways of saying things that I haven't heard before, new phrases as well. So we're always learning. We're going to keep learning. And I think that's what keeps us humble. Knowing that we're always learning. The moment you think you know everything, you lose your humility and you're no longer humble anymore. But Dakota always valued that humility. And I know there's things that I know, but there's much that I don't know. And the older that I get, the more I realize there's much that I don't know, even more so. So, yet when we're young and 20, we think we know everything. But little do we know. So, thank you again, Pidama Api Ake Mitakipi for tuning in, and thank you guys for our tech guys, and again Millie, and everybody that got us here together. We're looking forward to a real good winter here of learning.